Let me just draw something up that is not gonna look nice, but well, you're not here for my drawing skills, are you? Well, maybe you are, but I don't think so. Hey everyone, there's Radek, and today I'm bringing you my Kickstarter preview of Island Alone. A pretty interesting roll and write with scenarios and everything. So that's something you don't see every day. This is a Kickstarter project that will come to Kickstarter next week, and it is made by Radek Ignatów. I hope that I pronounced that correctly. You might remember his name from the A Lot of Games bundle, Print and Play, which I covered almost in its entirety on my channel. You can find a playlist on my channel for that as well. The campaign is supposed to start on March 22nd, and the game will cost €3 if I have the correct information, so definitely very affordable. So before I start with my preview, two things. First of all, please keep in mind that this is all a work in progress, right? The rules are still being worked on and really ironed out. And also, of course, the game is still in its final phases of testing and everything, as it is with pretty much every Kickstarter project before it starts. So keep that in mind. That is one thing. And the second thing is I will have timestamped in the description because this preview will be a little bit different. I will not just be doing a review because that is a roll and write. And most of my viewers like watching me play roll and writes. I will play through one of these scenarios to show you how that works, and then I will give you my review. Alright, I'll have to cut the recording very quickly because the church bells are ringing as usual. I will have to commence recording in like 10 to 15 minutes. But for you it will seem much faster. Alright, the church bells now have stopped ringing, which is wonderful. So without much further ado, let's get going. So we need a meeple here, so you probably already know the set that I backed on Kickstarter back then, which is a really cool set. Alright, so I got my little meeple here. So let me just give you a quick rundown of the game. I can explain most of it when we go through it, but in essence it's like this. We have 17 days here, or 17 turns, that we have in order to finish our objective. I will say more about the objective in a minute. We have 4 dice that we roll for each day, and these we can allocate to whatever we want to do. Most of the time we want to move and then use dice for something different. So you see there are a lot of fields here. We can reinstall any place we want to, at least for that scenario that I will be playing through today. And then we can move here with the meeple, and we can do things like pick up water, pick up wood, pick up food, ropes, stone, etc. And we just need to allocate any die to a field that we are standing on in order to get that resource. We can only get that one, then cross it out. But if we spend that die that is indicated here at the top, in the top left corner, you can probably not see it on camera too well, but I will say what it is when it comes to that. If we spend that exact die, then we also get a survival point down here. And survival points, well, it's either, if they're not used, will give us 1 point at the end of the game, which is cool, or we can use it to either re-roll a die or shift the die by +1 or plus or -1. So that is not too bad. And then there are also other things we can do. So the resources we can pick up, and then we note them down here, and we can use these resources to build stuff, right? So we can build a knife that gives us more rope when we actually get rope here, like gives us 2 instead of 1, or we get 2 stone instead of 1, or 2 wood instead of 1, 2 food, 2 water instead of 1, or the bow lets us hunt these little lizards here. If we go on a field with a lizard and we spend a die with the number or the same number that is indicated here, for example the 3 here or higher, then we can hunt that lizard if we have a bow, and that will give us food as well. So these are the main things we can do. Then there are also things like giving smoke signs. We can do that on the smoke sign field, but we need to put in the same die values. Also we can collect masks or do our map, and also we can get gems. One of the most important mechanics here is that, and also we have a raft on here. And then one of the most important mechanics is that we will need water and food here, starting at day 3. So all the water and also the food we collect will be noted up here, and we need that. If we can't satisfy one of these needs, we will just lose 1 health here, and if we lose all 3 health, then we lose. So this is pretty much the gist of the game, right? There are these lizards and also these palm trees. These are obstacles. We can also use a survival point to go through these obstacles. Otherwise, we have to go around, right? Except for the lizards, we can actually stop on that field and then hunt the lizard, and then that's not an obstacle anymore. And that is pretty much how the game works. So, and now there are a few more things that are very interesting. So first of all, we have scenarios. So you see here, I have a big fat and stack of scenarios. There might even be more in the Kickstarter campaign than at the end. I'm not quite sure, but these are quite a lot of. I think I have 12 scenarios at the moment, which is a lot. And you can see here there is a player number in the top right. We will play Welcome today. So I can show you a little bit how the game works. I think this way I will get around the map a lot and can show you most of the things. But there also are scenarios, as you can see here, like 1 to 4. But I think there are even some with 2 to 4. I can't find them right now, but there are some. You just have to believe me. So these are then multiplayer scenarios, which are really interesting because you can also fight against each other and actually have multiplayer scenarios. That is really interesting. But I will say a little bit more about that later. All right, so that's kind of how the game works. Let's take a look at the scenario and then start playing the game. So we have 17 turns here. We play alone, and the scenario is called Welcome. After a rebellion in the colony, you and your friends were blacklisted by the royal fleet. You managed to get to the island early. Your comrades should be arriving in a few weeks. Until then, you'll need to arrange shelter. So, for the victory conditions, first of all, we can start the game with any item except for the campfire and the tent. Not these two, because these are victory conditions. What I want to do, I want to start probably with the pot, I think, because the pot gives us +1 food every time we collect food. That means we don't have to collect as much food, just a little bit more water, so we don't have to concentrate on everything, because we need wood, we need rope, and also food and water, and also the campfires, and we need a lot of stuff. And I think if we don't have to worry about food too much, that's not bad, right? It's also an idea to use the spear, so we don't need as much rope, but we would have to go around the entire island anyway, and then we can also pick up the rope, right? But we would need much more food. So I think it's the best to start with the pot, so I will circle that here, like this. And now we also get 6 victory points at the end of the game, because we already started with that item. There are other ways to also, there are also other things we can do, but I think that's a good idea. All right. So we need to create 2 tents. That means we need to spend the dice of 1, 2, and 5 at some point during our playthrough here. And then we also need to collect 3 ropes times 2. So 6 ropes in both the tents anywhere. And here, then also we need to perform the task smoke signs 4 times. For that we need a fire just once. And then we can do the smoke signs here. As you can see here in the left, we need 4 times the same number every time we go on one of these smoke signs fields. So there's one here, there's one up there, one there, and one down there. So pretty much in every corner there is one. So we need to go around the entire island to do these smoke signs. I have already played this scenario, and it was really tight. So I don't know if we can win, but that's not the reason for playing that today. I just want to show you the game. All right, that's pretty much how it works, and now we start. So I think I would like to start someplace here, because then we can collect some water and some wood and some food and some rope just right at the very beginning here. So I will just go someplace there with our meeple. We can also put it like this, then you can see it maybe cooler. Well, actually, no, that irritates me. Let's put it like this. Okay, so we start. We start with day 1, so we will just put a line in here so we know that we are on day 1, and no, we don't need any food or water yet. So let's roll our dice for the first day. So now we see we have 2, 3, and 2 5s, and we don't always need to spend the entire die. So for example, if I just want to move 1 here, I can do that with the die of 3 or 5, so we can overspend, right? That is possible. So I will use probably, let's use the 3 die here to move into that field here. And then you see on that field we have water, and if we spend 8, we need to spend any die to collect that water, but if we spend it 2, that is noted up here, which I will do, then we also get 1 survival point, right? So we will cross that out. We have 1 water here. We already have 1 to start with, actually. And then we also get 1 survival point. That survival point is either worth 1 point at the end of the game, or we can use it to to modify, so to mitigate our dice rolls. Okay, we do need wood. We need 3 wood altogether. So it would not be a bad idea to use the 5 to move on here and spend that 5 to get 1 wood. I think that would be quite a good idea. So let's note that wood down here. All right. And now we are on day 2. And we will roll the dice for that. So you see, like once you know how the game works, it's pretty easy actually. It's quite simple. All right, so I will definitely move up here to get that food. We don't have a 4 we can spend there, so let's just use a 2 and then a 3 to move 2 up here and also get that food. And now remember, right? Because we have that pot here, we get 2 food when we collect food. So we have now 3 food, which is pretty good. We only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 food altogether, right? So we just need to collect 2 more food and then we are set for the rest of the game. Just water is more important. All right, then we have a 5 and a 6. Actually, I think I will just use the 5 to move here on the rope and then spend the 6 to get 1 rope, because we definitely need rope in order to craft our 2 tents. We need 6 rope. That is quite a lot. So let's hope we can get that. All right, day 3. And we will have to spend 1 water here. And let's roll our dice for day 3. So 2, 4, 4, and 5. We would need to collect some water, so it would not be bad to use all these 4 dice to move to the water, collect it, move to the water, and collect it. We don't have any of these dice here we need to collect the water. Alternatively, I think what's even a better idea is that we use the 2 and the 5 here to cross off the 2 and the 5 here, right? So we can start working on our tents. We only need to spend that once. So then we already have 2 of 3 rolls here. And the 4s don't help us here at all, but that is not a bad idea, right? And then we can use the 2 4s to move here and get another water. So we are a little bit more safe there. All right, so next day here, and also we spend 1 food. And then we roll our dice for day 4. 2, 2, 2, and 3. Okay, so I definitely want some water here. But we can use the 3 here to cross off that 3 here, right? So we don't need too much here anymore. And then I will use 2 2s in order to go on here and get the water. And also I didn't cross out that water that we got here, like this. And then we get 1 water here. Okay, and then we have another 2 with that 2, well, whatever, it doesn't really matter too much. I think, well, we do need a 1 and a 6 to be able to craft that, so we can't do that campfire yet. So we need to go to that wood first. We need 3 wood, so 1 is over there, 1 is there, and 1... Where can we get the 3rd wood, actually? There's 1 up there that's... Oh no, we already collected 1 wood here. Oh, we already have 1. So that 1, and then we can go back down to do that campfire. All right, so let's move up here so we can get that wood over there. All right, so next day we need to spend a water. So we still have 2 water, that is okay. Let's get something with a 3. We do have something with a 3, that is good. 4 and 5, these don't help us here with the rolls, that is pretty bad. But I will use the 4 to move onto the wood and the 3 to take the wood, because there is a 3 there, so we not only get a wood but also a survival point that could help us in the long run. And I'm just drawing on my finger here. That is wonderful. All right, so and then we still have 2 5s here. Oh, we're standing there, by the way. So we need that wood over there. So you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go around that lizard here with a 5, and then I will spend the other 5 just to get another wood. So that is now pretty nice, because we have all 3 wood we need to build that fire. But we still need a 1 and a 6, right? As soon as we have that, we can go down here and start making smoke signs, which is pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's roll our dice for day number 6 here, where we will also have to spend another food. So we still have 1 food and 2 water. So we do need some food quite soon as well. We have a 1. We do need a 6. We don't have a 6 yet. How How will I do it? Well, I think I will do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. That is pretty good. So I will spend that 1 here to get the next for the campfire here. And then I will spend a 4 and a 2. So that's 6 altogether. To move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 onto that water. And then spend the 2 that is indicated here to collect the water. So we get the water, and also because the 2 is indicated there, we also get another survival point, which is not bad. That will definitely help us in the long run. All right, then day 7 of 17 already. We're almost halfway through already. We will spend one of the water that we just collected, and we will roll the dice. That's the 6 we need. That's the 6 we need here, and also a 1 is not bad, because then we will also cross off that. So we are now ready to craft these. We just need the resources, right? We have 1 rope of 6, that is really not a lot, so we really need to get going soon. But we have all 3 wood, so we can craft that campfire, and that's what I'm going to do. So I will move 2 over here, and then spend the and then I will just craft the campfire here. So let me just draw something up that is not gonna look nice, but well, you're not here for my drawing skills, are you? Well, maybe you are, but I don't think so. So like this, and then let's do like a little flamey thing here. So like this. And then let me just circle that so I don't miss it at the end of the game for points, because we get those 15 points here. Let me just circle that so I don't forget. Okay. Wonderful. So let's do 1. Like we get 1 of those. All right. And then we still have a 5. And with that 5, I will just move onto that smoke sign there already, so we can do our first smoke sign next round. Okay, so next day we'll lose 1 food. We don't have food anymore, so we will have to collect food this our next round. So the smoke sign. So now we will have to choose a number. I think 3 would be fine. It's kind of in the middle. It will be the easiest probably. So I will make a smoke sign here, because we have the fire. We can do that, and then I will put in a let me just put a 3 here, and then just do a cross, because that's easier, because these are so small. But then we know we always need a 3 for each of these smoke signs. So we got our first smoke sign, right? So we need these 4 smoke signs, and we need 2 tents. So we are a little bit closer to getting that done. And then I will move 2 onto that rope here, and spend the 4 that is indicated here to get a rope. Oh, we spent that wood here. So we get a rope and also a survival point, which is pretty cool. And I will just spend the 6 to go over here to collect some food next round. All right, so next round you will lose more water. We still have 1 water left. That is okay. So 1, 2, 5, and 6. There is a 1 here on the food. So that is great. So we will get 2 food because of our pot, right? And also 1 survival point. We have a lot of survival points. We have 5 at the moment. That is pretty nice. I don't care too much about the points. I rather just want to win the game. That's the most important thing. So we can actually use those to our advantage pretty soon. So we spent that 1. And then 2, 5, and 6. So now we don't need anything anymore. What we need to do now is go up here and maybe get that water and that food, but that rope up here. Because we definitely need a lot of rope. And then we have that campfire, that fire there. So let's just move with the 6. Let's just go all out. So where can we go? We can go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for example. No, let's spend the 5 instead. Go here. And then spend the 2 to go another 2 onto the water here. And spend the 6 that is indicated there to get not only that water, but also 1 survival point. Okay, cool. So next round, we lose 1 food. So now, with the 4 dice, get 1 food and get a rope. That would be great. So let's see. So let's spend the 2 and the 6 to go onto that here, and spend the 6 to get food. Because of our pot, we get 2 food, which is pretty nice. And then I will spend the 1 to go into that rope field, and the 2 to get the rope. And the 2 is the indicated number here. So we not only get 1 rope, but also 1 survival point again. That is good. We need those survival points, at least 3 of them. We might need, or even more maybe, for the smoke signs, because we need to get the 3 exactly. So that is going to be a little bit tough. That was already it. So we are now on day 3, 6, 9, 11 already. So we only have 6 days left after that. We need to spend 1 water. So now let's do that smoke sign here. And also we couldn't craft our first tent actually. So you know what, let's do that. Let's move 1 onto that spot here. And then we can spend these 3 rope here to do 1 tent, right? So let's just draw a simple tent here, like this. So we got our first tent. We just need 1 more tent and also like the 3 smoke signs. It's gonna be tough, but we can maybe do it. I hope so. Then I spend 1 to go on here, and then the 1 I will change to a 3 with 2 survival points here. Oh, I should have crossed it from the left. Well, that doesn't matter too much, I think. And then we can put in a 3 here. So we have the next smoke sign, which is great. And then we still have a 1 here. Well, what will I do with that 1? Well, let's just move down here, I guess. Yeah, sure. Okay, so where do we need to go next? We do need some water soon. Soon we need some water. We also need that rope here. So let's try to get that rope and that water in 1 swoop. And then go up here and get smoke sign and rope. I think it's going to be really tough. It's possible that we won't win, but let's see. So next day we will spend 1 food again. And then let's see. So we want to get 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can definitely, we don't have any 1s here, but that is fine. So let's just spend 2 dice to get onto that water here and get that water. So we have at least 1. And then spend these 2 dice to go into that spot here and get that rope. All right, next day we lose another water. We just need 1 more water and then we are safe for the rest of the... Eventually we also don't need any food anymore. Smoke sign, that looks good. We will use the 5 to get into that smoke sign thing here, and then we can spend our 3 here to do these smoke signs, and then I will just spend a 1 and a 5 to go over here and get the next rope. So we need 1 more rope and 1 more smoke sign. So the rope is, there's the rope. So we just need to go down here, and then we need to go down here to do the smoke sign. It is possible to still finish that. So next round we lose 1 food. We still need to collect 1 more water on the way, just in case we need that last round. But maybe we don't need the last round. Let's see. All right, so these are some high rolls. That is great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is enough there to get the rope. So 5 here. So we are on the rope, and then I will just spend, that's a 3, we don't have a 3, so let's just spend a 1 to get that rope. And that is the last rope we need, right? So I will spend a 2, but only move 1 here, so we can build our second tent here. So because we have the 3 rope here, let me cross it out, and then we can have the second tent here. That is wonderful, like this. And then we have a 6 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's enough to get on the smoke sign. And then next day we spend 1 more water. That's the last water we have, but that is fine. And now we just need a 3 to finish that smoke sign. We don't have a 3, but let's turn that 4 into a 3 here with 1 of our survival points. So we still have 4, that's great. And we finish the smoke sign and with a 3, and we finished the game because, as we know, the scenario said create 2 tents. We have 2 tents, 1 is over there, 1 is up there. And also we have the task smoke signs 4 times here. So, and now we calculate our points. So first of all, we can put a big W here. That's not a nice one. Let me fix that like this, because we won the game. That is great. That is wonderful. And look at this guy. He's really happy. But now we can also calculate our points. So mostly, let me just get these dice out of the way. We don't need those. Put that a little more central so we have a little bit more room. So, and now we will take a look at all the points we get. And that is mostly done by the star, with the stars, right? So up here we got nothing. We have all 4 smoke signs, which gives us 25 points. So that is 25 points. Great. Then down here, nothing, nothing, nothing. We still have 4 survival points here. And that is 1 point each, which is 4 points. Right? Then we have nothing here. We have that bowl, that pot, that gives us 6 points. And then we have 1 campfire, which gives us 15 points. And we have 2 tents, which give us 30 points. But that's not all. Also, as you can see here, it says, if you complete the mission before day 17, you get 5 points for every day that is missing. So we still have 2 days left, which is nice. So we get 5 points each for those 2 days here, like 5, 5. So that is 10 more points. And now we can count all of that together. And that's exactly 90 points. And I think that's a decent score, because I think we were quite efficient, right? That's a pretty decent score. We could have been a little bit more efficient by... No, actually, no. We were completely efficient. I think 90 is a pretty good score. I think last time I played this exact scenario, it was about like 81 to 84 points, something like that. I'm not quite sure anymore. I don't know by heart. But this game was definitely a little bit better. And that is how you played the game. But you saw it was tight, right? Just 2 days left. The last time we couldn't even have done without even having to get more water, because we didn't have any anymore. So it was very, very tight. And although I played quite efficiently, I'd say. So that was my playthrough of the game. But don't leave yet if you want to hear my first impression. So first of all, before I talk about the impression, this game, this is the solo map. There will also be additional maps, for example, a multiplayer map and some other ones. These are still in the beta phase, but they look pretty good too. It's pretty similar here, but it's just a little bit differently done because of the multiplayer aspect, right? That's one thing. But the main drive of the game is that you can play it 1 to 4 players. That is great, but also mainly that you can have scenarios. So you saw me do the welcome scenario, right? I just chose that because we can explore the entire map. I can show you how to build stuff and how to collect stuff and everything, do the smoke signs. We could do a lot of stuff here. So that's why I chose that mission. Also, it's like an introductory mission, so to speak, right? It also says welcome and everything, so that's fine. But you see here, we have many more scenarios. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's 12 at the moment. I don't know if there will be any others, but I mean, this lends itself very easily to create expansions and more missions or whatever. So that is pretty good. And you see here, that's another solo mission here. For example, here we need to hunt all the lizards, which is really tough, right? I mean, we need a bow for that. First, you need a bow for that, and then you really need to hunt all these lizards. That's quite a lot. You need to have 6 survival points. That makes you have specific numbers on whatever you collect, right? You could do that with the lizards too, probably, and also need to create a tent. So that is a lot to do also. And you see, you have a completely different game here. Yes, you keep rolling you also roll the dice and just go around the map. But still, you need to do different things, right? And that is pretty cool. I like that. And then also there are multiplayer things. You see here, that's one for 2 to 4 players. You can't even play this one solo. And here, victory conditions, the last game is played until the last player alive. So you actually have like a pretty much like a battle royale, right? Because you need to just kill each other. That is pretty interesting. And the interesting thing is, the day counter returns to day 3 after 17. So that means you don't have that counter of 17 days. It just starts again at day 3. But it starts day 3 here because you need water for that, right? It won't start at day 1. Because, of course, you can play infinitely, but at some point the resources will be gone, right? And that is really interesting. So you see that the games play much differently depending on which scenarios you choose. And I think here's like a predator thing here also. that works way different here. And so there's a lot of interesting things here, hidden treasures, or something like that here, for example. So you get an extra supply of food and water at the beginning. This is only not a map only for multiplayer, and you need to build as many campfires and tents. And the player who had after 17 has the most, like the total highest number of campfires and tents, wins. Really interesting too. That's almost like an area control thing. So really interesting. There is a lot of I see a lot of potential here with different scenarios and everything. So that works. So my first impression is it's definitely a very solid entry into the entire roll and write genre. I know that the roll and write genre is very oversaturated at the moment. The past years there were so many roll and write and also flip and write games that were coming out, and some of them are great, others are good, but there's just too many to play. Also at Kickstarter there have been quite a lot of roll and writes you could support, so the market definitely is oversaturated at the moment. But I'd say this definitely is a worthwhile addition, because this does something that other games do not really do, because you just have a bigger map, you have more things to do. It is a little bit more open in what you do, right? So you don't have like fixed fields where you put all your stuff in, but you can actually move around quite freely. And you don't use a pen for that, for just moving around. You just move a little meeple or coin or whatever you have on hand, which is pretty nice. So that works pretty well, and also the game is pretty simple to understand. So I definitely like the game, and if you enjoy roll and write, I would definitely suggest you get this, or at least keep an eye on it when it hits Kickstarter. I'm not quite sure what else will be included in the Kickstarter, but if these 12 scenarios are all in there at least, it's definitely worthwhile, because you at least get 12 plays out of that. Although some of them are not solo, that's one thing you need to keep in mind, right? But I like that. Also the graphical design, how everything is laid out here, that is definitely working well. What I would like, if that is still possible to add before the Kickstarter or during, is maybe have some room where you can actually calculate your points. That would be great. I don't know if that's possible to get. I think it's very tight already here, so I don't think it's possible, but that would be great. So we have like a dedicated space. Just put it like a square here where you can put in all your points or something. That would be great. But apart from that, there's nothing really I would have to change. The rules are still a little bit rough. But of course, I mean, this is still a work in progress, and the rules are still being worked on. Also, I think English is not his native language, so that is totally understandable. So there still is time to fix that, but that's one thing, the only thing that will really change. Apart from that, if you like roll and write games, if you want to try something a little bit more open, with different scenarios, so you can like kind of play through that, then I would definitely suggest that. Maybe one thing I would also like, that I'm just thinking of, is maybe you could also have like little campaigns, right? So have like a campaign that consists of 3 scenarios, and you need to fulfill specific things in like the entire campaign, right? So maybe you need to finish each scenario and altogether get a total of 250 points, just for example. And this way you could even have more variety, because you don't choose like one scenario and just play through it, but you have to actually have to play 3 scenarios in a specific order, and also try to get enough points and not only finish these scenarios themselves. I think that would be also very interesting. But enough rambling for now. The video has gone long enough. If you're still watching, thank you very much for doing so. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I will put the link to this project in the description of this video as usual. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Take care everyone, and cheers.